Hey guys, welcome back to HyperTora. I've got my Japancrate here for what I believe is May. All my boxes have been delayed quite a bit because of the coronavirus. All the shipping's all over the place at the moment. So I'm looking at, I think this is about 2.5 weeks later than it usually would be. My Tokyo Treat box, which would normally be around a month ago, still hasn't arrived. It's actually, this is leapfrogged my Tokyo Treat box. So I'm not sure what's happening with that box, whether it's lost in the post, if it's stuck somewhere because of the coronavirus, quite possibly. I think also a lot of people having issues sometimes with boxes not shipping. I think I've got one at the moment. It's not automatically renewing my Tokyo Treat with the extra $5 they're charging for shipping, so I need to get in contact with them to get my boxes out at the moment, rather than it happening automatically, which is quite annoying. But we've got our Japancrate here for May, so this one's actually arriving. They are automatically charging the extra $5 for shipping on this at the moment in order to get these shipped out of the country, because Japan Post has stopped shipping internationally on the cheaper packages or the cheaper shipping methods, so it's slightly more expensive. But let's open this up and see what we have inside. Oh, so that looks pretty good. Really nice and refreshing to see that, because I haven't had any Japanese treats for almost 2 months now, it feels like, because of the coronavirus sort of blocking them all. My first few at the beginning of the crisis came through as normal, but this one and my other ones are obviously a bit more delayed. I can't remember exactly what the theme is. It says Sugoi Crate. Oh no, that's the May Sugoi Crate, because that's what's on, but I can't remember what the theme is for this month. It's what's happening in Japan's on there. Usually it's something to do with what's on the front, so there's caramel corn and stuff on there, so I imagine it's something to do with spring, but nonetheless that's a really nice one. We've got a nice red box, so they do tend to theme the boxes, so this one's a bit more plain, which is why I'm not too sure the theme for this month. But we'll open our little booklet up on here so we know what we got inside it as well. So let's start going through this. It looks like it's going to be quite a nice interesting box to go through. So there's some things that catch my eye from the top. We've got, this is our first item. So we've got a little packet of peach, what I think might be peach gummies, because they're nice and soft. So in here it says gumdrop shaped gummies, peach flavoured. Usually, I haven't seen this packet of peach ones before, but peach things in Japan, the peach flavouring tends to be really nice and juicy. So that's quite a nice addition. So that'll be quite nice and refreshing with a peach. Next up, so obviously this came in the original box because you got 3 different sizes with Japancrate. We have our premium bonus item here, which is the Kit Kat Big Little Matcha pouch, they call it. So they started doing a few of these in Japan where you get like the Kit Kat, they're almost like little balls or cubes, which are quite interesting. This is going to be a matcha Kit Kat, so that'll be interesting to try out. A lot of the times when you get matcha Kit Kats, they're green on the outside, so it's like a white chocolate with matcha flavouring. It's a bit sweeter. This one looks like it's layered with matcha in between, so that's something I don't think I've had before, with normal chocolate on the outside, so that'll be quite interesting to try out. Next up, we got some little mini items. We got a little delivery truck here. This is from the mini box. It says DX delivery car pack. So that'd be interesting. That might have, it's just sweet strawberry Ramune candies. So that'd be interesting to try out. The mini box is always full of little small things like this, which is quite nice. And if you watch anime, you want to watch out for these trucks usually, because they're the ones that send you to another world. Next up, we have what looks like to be some sort of gum, maybe some gum. So this is from the premium box. It says Candy Monster. It's hard candy. They feel like little balls, and the longer you suck on the flavour, the more red your tongue becomes. So interesting translation there, but yeah. So it looks like it's going to change the colour of your mouth when you suck on these. It's pretty cool. Next up, we've got a little Choco Banana candy. I think we've had this before, and possibly in one of our Tokyo treats. So this is from the original box. It says Banana Man. So it's miniature banana filled with a sweet chocolate and marshmallow cream. So you've got a little chocolatey centre, I think you can see on the picture there, with kind of marshmallowy stuff around it, and I think probably a banana chocolate coating. Next up, we have some sort of grape remoune. Just looking at the package. So this says in the grape ball remoune. So another hard candy, but grape flavoured. Quite interesting. It's quite a large one as well. Next up, it looks like we possibly have even more remoune flavoured things. We got some little kind of pucks of candy there. So this is also from the mini box. This is Ram Cup. So colourful remoune confectionaries. So I wonder, there might be different flavours hopefully as well there in that little packet. It's like a little one of those little milk packets you get, which is quite interesting. Our next item is another little mini item. This will be this. I'm not sure if this is from the mini box. I think this is from the premium box. So this says Super Charmeleon. So like a chameleon whose aim is to trick and deceive, these hard candies do the same with your taste buds. So we got this changes colour and flavour as you go through the layers, starting with cola. So we got quite a few remoune candies so far. I think most of what I've just picked up in the last few is remoune hard candies of some sort. It's quite interesting. Next up, we have a fruits donuts. So this is a little gummy candy. This is from the mini box. We have things like this in the UK. You can get like these little candies in big bags. So that's quite interesting. The colour makes it look like it might be peach, just from the kind of orangey and ready, but it could be apple-y flavoured as well. And these are usually quite nice and juicy as well. And they're covered in sugar, so they can be a little bit sour, I think. But we'll see when we try that one. Next up, we have another small little candy. I don't know whether it's wasabi or pea based on the green, but this is from the original box. So this is green tongue gum. So paint your tongue green with this gum, which has been quite interesting. Next up, we have, I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's a long kind of squidgy stick, but there is a kind of melon pan looking thing on there. So there is a picture on the back, so it looks like a kind of lace with a centre to them. So this is from the premium box, and this is melon bread and melon soda soft candy, and I quite like melon soda, so that'd be an interesting thing to try out. I've not had one of these before. So the nice thing about having got the Japancrate, I'm starting to get some of this stuff in Tokyo Treats a bit repetitive occasionally. So it's nice that Japancrate has a lot of these small items in it, which often means I'm getting things that I haven't seen before. It's quite nice. Next up, we have what I believe is our drink in this box. This is the boba milk tea gummy from the premium box. So this is tapioca here, crafted tapioca has been trending in Japan. So capitalising on their popularity, these gummies are made to taste like tapioca milk tea with each bite. So it's not actually our drink. I think the package is just designed to make it look a bit like that. But these are gummies instead. So that'd be interesting to try. I think I saw them teasing this, and I thought I'd have some sort of drink, and I'd actually be drinking some sort of boba milk. But that's just as good because I love gummies. Next up, it looks like we got possibly mochi or something similar. It does look like latte, which to me, I'm not too keen on. I'm not too keen on coffees and stuff. I much prefer my English teas. So I'm not entirely sure whether I like this overly much, because I'm not keen on the flavour, but if you love coffee, this will probably be quite good. This says cinnamon roll mochi latte flavour. So it is mochi, so it should be nice and soft. I will try one, even though I'm not keen on the coffee a bit later on. Next up, we got some caramel corn. So this is from which box is this from? It's from the original box. it's not always easy to recognise the packaging sometimes. So this is another edition of a Japancrate favourite. Is back in a new Kineko flavour featuring brown sugar syrup and soy powder. So I don't believe I've had that flavour before, so this is something entirely new. So that's going to be interesting to try out. Next up, we have another one of our big items. It says premium in the box, and it looks like Lipton iced tea makes this, and possibly popcorn as well by the look. So this is from the premium box. It says Mike Premium Lipton Milk Tea flavour. So a collaboration between Mike Popcorn and Lipton iced tea. So that'd be interesting to try out. I'm not sure if Mike is a Japanese brand or if it sounds like an American brand, especially with Frito-Lay. But nonetheless, that's quite an interesting collaboration. I've definitely never seen one of these in a Japanese box before, so that'll be something entirely different to try out. Next up, we have our kind of bigger savoury item in this box. We have some what looks like some potato chips, a bit like Doritos or your little chip triangles, whatever you call them in your country. This is from the mini box. So this is Don Taco's grilled corn. So this is obviously going to be corn flavoured. We've got a little butter on there as well, so I imagine it might be a little bit buttery. So that'll be interesting to try out. You do get some interesting flavoured potato chips from Japan, which I wouldn't easily find in the UK without looking very hard, or especially ordering them. You wouldn't find these kind of things in a normal shop in the UK. Next up, we have our DIY candy. So this one looks quite interesting. I think we might have done something similar to this a very long time ago, but I haven't seen anything like it in a while. So this is quite nice. It looks like this is almost going to be like our boba tea. So this comes in the original box, and it's this petite jelly shake. So grape flavoured jellies and muscat soda flavoured foam. So we kind of get, I think, a green muscat foam with like some kind of purplish grape jellies, using water and stuff. So I'll have to grab some water for this in a little bit. And then our final item is our actual drink. So this says Mega Patchy. It's an energy drink. I've not actually had one of these before. It's quite an interesting packaging. So this is a new item for me to try out as well. So it's Mega Patchy can. Stay energized this spring with this energy drink, which can be found in vending machines throughout Japan. Where it's quite interesting because I don't remember seeing this in vending machines, at least the ones I saw in Japan, or I just maybe wasn't looking for it. Because maybe it looked a bit, without knowing it was energy drink, it might have looked a bit like a coffee or something else. But that's everything there. So that's everything in the box. As far as I can see, we have everything. Nothing's missing, which is always worth checking, which is really cool. There. And then we've got, on the back of our booklet here, we've got the instructions for our DIY candy, which is really cool. You can see our Sugoi crate for this month if you manage to win that. Which I never have any luck with any of them on there, which is pretty cool. But let's try some of these out. I'm going to quickly grab some water for the DIY candy in a bit, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I've got some water for the DIY candy, but I'll do that towards the end. First up, I want to try out our energy drink in a can, which would be quite interesting. I do love Japanese cans. They always feel more sturdy than the ones you get in the UK, which are very thin. Definitely smells like an energy drink. I wouldn't say there's anything special about it. There's no real flavouring. It just tastes like your normal energy drink, Red Bull kind of flavouring. But nonetheless, it's quite nice. It might keep me awake for the rest of the day quite easily. Next up, we'll try out our corn Don Tacos. So these are like little mini Doritos. They smell very corny. They almost smell like biscuits with the butter more than they smell like potato chips. They're really nice actually. They taste very much like corn and butter. So they got the flavour really spot on with that. They're really nice and really moreish. As usual, there's probably about half a bag of air in there, but I think you get that nowadays from most potato chips, and you kind of want that for shipping from Japan so it doesn't pop or break all the chips, otherwise you end up with a load of mush by the time it gets back from Japan. Next up we have our popcorn with our Lipton iced tea flavouring. So this is something entirely new to me. It's popcorn with iced tea flavouring. Almost looks like it's like caramel popcorn or something, or toffee coated popcorn. It's quite an interesting flavour. Because I suppose a lot of iced tea you get with Lipton is either sort of peach or lemon flavoured. That is almost, I almost thought there was a hint of lemon in there. I'm not entirely sure. There might still be. But you can sort of taste the tea-ish flavour in the sugar coating that's on these. Because I think that's what it is. I think it's mixed with a kind of sugar coating to coat the popcorn. And it always amazes me how these come out so round compared to normal popcorn, which is pretty cool. Next up we have our caramel corn, which is brown sugar, syrup with soy powder. They definitely smell of brown sugar. I don't know if you can see in there, they're kind of slightly tinted, a little bit darker, brownish, rather than the kind of light colour they usually have. It's interesting, I can taste the brown sugar lightly on there. First I couldn't taste the soy powder, but now I'm starting to get a bit of a soy aftertaste from that, which could also be a bit of the brown sugar. I think the brown sugar flavour in that comes up more than the rest of the flavour palette. Almost gives it a bit of a kind of coffee latte taste to it, but with that sort of soy mix with the brown sugar. So that's something a little bit different. Up next we have our kind of coffee latte mochi, and I'll probably need to cleanse my palate in between this one, which will be interesting. So that's interesting. We got kind of a multi-pack here, which is really nice, and this looks really interesting. It'd be interesting to get some of these in other boxes but in different flavours, which would be really cool. And they come with a little stick in them by the looks to help you eat them. So that's really interesting. I haven't seen these with a little stick on them before, but it's really nice and soft, which is what you kind of expect. They're really nice, chewy. You've got your latte centre, which is not too overpowering. So that's not too bad actually, considering I'm not a fan of coffee. That's quite nice and light. It's not too bad actually. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting for me with my dislike of coffee. But if you like coffee and latte, that's pretty really good. And that's quite a nice soft mochi, because sometimes you can get mochi that's come from Japan and it doesn't feel as fresh and as soft and chewy as you'd expect from fresh mochi. So that's really nice. Next up, we have our little gummies, our boba tea milk gummies. So these should taste like tapioca milk tea. There are lots of little balls, a bit like the boba balls. It's quite interesting and odd. So they're definitely reasonably chewy gummies. They're a bit harder than the soft gummy, but not too hard. They definitely taste of tea. So that's an unusual taste for me. I don't think I've ever had a gummy that tastes like tea. So that's pretty cool. I'm just try out. I'm not entirely sure what I make of that though. The tea flavouring with the gummies is a little bit odd. Next up, we've got our matcha Kit Kats. So I love that these packets come like this. They're nice and receivable packets. Our bigger packets of Kit Kats have started coming in kind of paper packaging now. You still have the individual kind of foil lined packets inside, but the larger packet comes in paper to sort of help save on plastic. So these are little cubes. And they're nice and greeny on the inside of the matcha. They're quite nice. They're not too overpowering. With the matcha, you get a nice hint of matcha there without too much overpowering. They're not as sweet as the white chocolate versions. Nonetheless, quite nice. So it's quite a bit more green, I think, on this inside than it actually shows on that picture. Next up, we have our little melon soda, melon pan, soft candy. So I think we sort of have similar things to this in the UK, although this is quite large in diameter. Definitely smells of melon. Definitely don't get melon flavouring in the UK for candy. And you kind of got a creamy centre by the looks there as well. It's a nice chewy gummy. It's really soft. And you definitely get that flavour of melon soda, that creaminess there as well. I'm not sure I'd link it too much to melon bread, but definitely the melon soda is really nice in that. Next up, we have our little banana with the chocolate. So that looks like it's maybe misshaped slightly from what I was expecting for banana shaping, but it definitely smells of the banana flavouring. So we've had these kind of things before. You've got a kind of nice banana chocolate outside, marshmallow centre with a bit of chocolate in the middle there. Not quite as big as I was expecting with that. Next up, we have our little peach gummies to try out. So these are gumdrop shaped. They look quite juicy and refreshing, which is really nice. And we've got quite a few in the packet there. It smells really nice. These are amazing. They're really soft and juicy. You don't need to put much effort into chewing these, so these are really nice. So next up we have our little fruit donut. Looking from the colour of it, I think it might be peach, based on the orange and kind of reddish colours there, because you get these kind of things in the UK. They're usually peach flavoured rings or apple flavoured, so it'd be interesting to see what this is. It's really nice. Actually, it almost tastes sherbety. I'm not entirely sure the flavouring. It might be a combination of peach and apple. It's quite juicy. If you get this box, do comment down below and let me know what flavour you think that is, because I'm not entirely sure what that is. But nonetheless, it's really nice and juicy. There is a little bit of a sour tinge aftertaste that comes from the sugar, but nonetheless, it's really nice. Next up, I think we've got a lot of our hard candy gummies, so I'll go through this one first. So we've got our green tongue gum, which will be really interesting. So it's bright green. Makes me think of the kind of pea potato chip kind of things we get occasionally. Smells kind of appley. There's not a great amount of flavouring to it. There's a little hint, I think, of apple in there, but it isn't very strong. The gum afterwards does go bright green compared to the powdered, and I imagine my mouth might be a little bit green. I'm not entirely sure. I can't see myself. That's quite interesting. So we got all our Ramune flavoured things next. So we have our little packet of Ramune cups of these hard candies. These will be a little bit softer. I think they're kind of more powdered. They're really nice, I think. It's a little bit melony, I think, that one. So they're quite nice. They're, yeah, they're not really hard candies like these ones. They're more like kind of formed powder candies, so you can chew these a little bit easier and they break apart in your mouth, which is really nice. These ones, I think, are a lot harder. So this is grape. You can actually see some of the powder on the outside of that. And you've got a really nice, strong smell of grape. This is almost like a bath bomb. You can bite into it, it's quite powdery. That's really nice. You got a great flavour. Grape flavouring doesn't taste, I think, as strong as it smells. Unless it's quite a nice flavour. Next up we have our little delivery truck. So these are tiny little ones in here. If I can get them out. So these are strawberry flavoured. Tiny little balls in there. Okay, so we've got our little pink balls here. Like I said, they don't smell very strong. I'm hoping they might taste a little bit better. They're, where they're small, they're not overly hard. They're kind of sugar coated. There is a hint of strawberry there. It's not a very strong flavour. It's quite nice. Not overly sweet. It's still sweet enough, but definitely not too strong in the strawberry flavour. Next up we have our chameleon flavour candy. So I think this one is something that you obviously suck on over a period of time. And you got your cola flavour on the outside, so I won't suck through this through the whole video. That's quite nice. And then our next Ramune candies are these little balls. So they all look red, reddish pink. So they all look the same in the packet here. There is something on the back which I can't translate, with some different characters for the different monsters and some values. I'm not entirely sure what they mean. But this, I believe, changes red, or changes your tongue red the longer you suck it. They taste a bit like a sugar ball. I wouldn't say there's no, it's definitely not Ramune. And that's maybe why it says stuck on the flavour. I think it's just sugar flavoured. So that, unless there's a bit more flavouring further down in that candy. There. But our last item in here is our DIY candy, and it's really nice to have a DIY candy which is going to have a little bit more work. I didn't have all the water ready for this earlier on, which like I normally do, because we haven't had a DIY candy that takes water in a little while. So in here we have 3 sachets of powder. One's green, we've got a purple and a black one. Sometimes they're numbered, but not always. And then we've got a tray with 2 sections in it, which can be pulled apart. And these have this one has a little star in it, which helps you sort of identify the trays, and this one has a little musical note in it as well. And then we got a little pipette, and by the looks of a little straw as well. So I'm going to flip this over so I can actually use the instructions on this, because if we have done this before, it's been a rather long time. So remove packets and separate tray, which we've just done. Add water to the circular tray to the first line with the base packet, which is the black one, and mix until dissolved. So yeah, so it references a circular and a rectangular tray. So I'm going to assume that's the more rectangular one, and this is the circular one. And it says to the first line. So there's different lines going up there. So I'm going to pour some water up to that first line. Yes. There, I'm hoping it's that kind of, that first line is that bottom indent. I'm not sure, hopefully. And that needs to mix with the black sachet. So, if I can find the tear point in this. That is the base, so that goes in there. And that needs to be mixed until dissolved. So I'm going to use our straw to help mix that. We've got a nice extendable one there, which is really cool. And we'll mix that round so it dissolves in that water. The powder, it almost looks like it's a bit of a thickener almost. It thickens up the water a bit. So next up, we need to add water to the rectangular tray to the first line, and then use the grape packet, which is the purple one, and mix that till dissolved. So the first line in here, which isn't very much, that needs the green sachet. Oh no, not the green, the grape packet, which is the purple one, in there. And unlike that one, which was clear, this one actually goes a purpley grape colour. And this one will probably need a fair bit of mixing because it's sort of solidifying, gellifying in the water a bit there as well. It smells really nice and grapey, that kind of grape soda, fresh candy smell from the grapes. So that's really nice. I absolutely love these flavours. So next we use the little pipette with the purple grape fluid and pipe into the clear base fluid, which will probably solidify this into jelly. And then we add the green packet, which is the muscat, and stir together afterwards. So if I just make sure this is nicely stirred, because you can see there's some bits at the bottom, suck some of this up and then dropper it in. That's really cool. So we're getting some really nice little balls in here. That's really funky. And because they sort of set as soon as they hit that fluid, they don't merge together. So the ball that drops down stays as it is. So this is really funky. We're getting some, it almost looks like frog eggs in a pond, the way that is. That's really nice. A little bit more of this and that'll probably do, I think, for me. So that's looking really cool. We got some little different balls and stuff in there, the different sizes. So obviously if you've dropped it a bit slower, it makes some little bigger balls. Whereas if you go really quickly, then you get lots of small ones as they hit the packet. But hopefully you can see them in there, which is really cool. And then finally we got our muscat flavouring to go in here. Hopefully these little balls fit through the straw, but this needs to go in here and mix, thoroughly mixed and stirred together. So I'll use the straw for that again. This is giving it that green colour which was on the packaging, of that foam. So this is foaming up now really nicely. That's really cool. So we've had like foamy candies before. I don't think we've had so much mixed with the jellies. So that smells really nice as well in there. So let's try some of it. You get the jelly out. The foam is really airy because it's quite difficult to drink through a straw. And a lot of what I'm getting is air. But I'm definitely getting some of the grape jelly through. That's really nice and refreshing. That's cool. That's one of my favourite DIYs we've had in a long time. It'd be really nice to get some DIYs again, which we haven't had in a long time. Some of the microwavable ones you get, which are pretty cool and interesting to make as well. I haven't seen them in a Japanese box, but I've had for a good couple of years. But nonetheless, that's really nice, and it's a change from what we've been having. That's everything in this box. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do comment down below with your favourite items from this box. It's always interesting to hear what you guys think of it. If you get the box and you think some of the flavours are a bit different from what I think they are, let me know. And let me know how some of your shipping's going, because I know mine's definitely delayed. Having a bit of fun getting stuff, so I imagine some of you guys are. I think America is having a lot of trouble with getting these Japanese boxes shipped in because they're having real issues with customs and imports at the moment. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. Please do hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the video. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed and you want to see more unboxing videos. And hit that bell button as well if you want to hear or be notified when these videos come up. Otherwise, thank you for watching and see you guys next time.